Burma has just undergone a big change in the past few days. A new government after the election, supposedly a more democratic one, has the policy from State Department. So what's Burma changed?
The United States policy towards State Department has not changed. The United States government believes that Burma has really yet to engage in any kind of dialogue with their citizens, any kind of reconciliation, any kind of move to genuine participation by their citizens. And I spent yesterday up in Mesat on the border. I was.
You were observing from the border?
I was visiting refugee camps.
Were you observing the change in Burma?
No, I didn't. I did not look into Burma. I was looking into. I'm the U.S. ambassador to Thailand. Remember, but we spend the United States a great deal of money every year, about $42 million on refugee care and refugee programs. So, you know, when you meet with those people, you realize that real change has not yet come to Burma. You know, these are people who are not safe to go home, who do not feel safe in their own country. Lots of them, and they all want to go home.
So you are optimistic or pessimistic about the change in the
I don't think
capital?
We see it as a real change at this stage. So
Not
I think
yet.
No, we don't.
But they had an election.
They did, but are you going to tell me that you thought that was a real, free, fair, participatory election?
So what do you do? Because
you know, that's the hard part. And I'm the U.S. ambassador to Thailand, so fortunately I'm in a country where we can express our views. But I think as deals with Burma, we keep looking at ways to try to work with ASEAN, with other places, to get the Burmese regime to change. I mean, freeing Aung San Suu Kyi was good.
Will the policy on sanction change, you think?
And not at the moment.
Not yet.
We don't see any reason to change that. I mean, we haven't really seen any optimism. These were elections only in name. They weren't really elections. And so I think until we see some change.
But Aung San Suu Kyi seems to be more flexible on this issue.
I don't, you know, again, maybe you know more than I do because I'm not our ambassador to Burma, but my sense is...
I'm not ambassador to Burma
either. But my sense is that she still believes the sanctions play a very useful and important role.
But she has softened a bit from my observation.
Yeah, I don't think that our sense is that she really has. But, you know, again, we'll keep talking to everyone. You know, these are difficult issues.
Yes.
Because how do, you know, and no one knows more than Thailand. Because it's right on your border. You know, it's an important nation. It's a populated nation, a nation with resources. And Thailand's been host very compassionately to many Burmese for many years. So I think one of the things we're trying to do, and one of the reasons we're very active now with ASEAN, is how can we work with ASEAN neighbors? You know, what ideas do we have? How can we share thoughts and how?
Our problems with Cambodia.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Has Washington been thinking about how to help Thailand, Cambodia be more friendly for each other?
You know, it is troubling when you see two neighbors who are both friends of the United States, you know, having a conflict. And, you know, you feel very badly, I think, to see loss of life and villages burned on both sides.
Yes.
I mean, our view, we supported the United Nations view that this conflict should be handled in the region between the two parties with support from ASEAN.
You mean bilateral talks?
Yes. I mean, what we supported was at the United Nations was the United Nations Security Council consensus that this is an issue. The two parties, Cambodia and Thailand, can work on, and obviously if Indonesian facilitation or ASEAN is helpful, terrific.
Ambassador Kenney, you have been in the Philippines for many years. Now you're in Thailand. Similarities between the problem in southern Philippines and southern Thailand, you think?
I don't think so. Now, I have yet to visit southern Thailand, so I'm talking about mostly what I've heard.
You have been reading.
I have been reading and what I've heard and talking to people.
There must be comparison in your mind as to, you know, whether the Philippine case and the Thai case.
And right now it looks different. The Philippine case features some foreign insurgents and foreign influenced groups. The Thai case appears to be a Thailand issue. And so, you know, I'll look to see more about that, but it looks to be different, also a much smaller area of your country involved. Now, the violence is very troubling.
In the Philippines, the United States played quite an important role in helping.
Well, we did play at the Philippine government's request. They asked us to help provide both security and development assistance. Now, that isn't the case here in Thailand.
So far, no security assistance in the South from America yet.
No, I mean, of course, all the general training we do together, you know, builds capacity of police and of military. But no, we haven't been engaged directly. And we haven't been asked to be, so.
But the nature of the problem, the insurgency, separatism, more or less follow the same pattern, right?
Not really, to my view. The Philippines features several different insurgent groups, plus known international terrorists who come in and train one or two of them. And so it's a very different, it's a much larger swath of territory.
Yes.
So the whole composition and look seems to be quite different.
The priorities of drug enforcement, terrorism, anti-terrorism activities, how do they now rank under your duties?
They're still one of our big priorities. I mean, we have a lot of priorities on many schedules, and that's an important one. And we have a great relationship here. We do a lot of mutual training together. You know, we jointly run the International Law Enforcement Academy here in Bangkok, which we train people from around the region. So, you know, it's an important part of our relationship and our friendship.
So it's still high up in the
priority list, absolutely. And we have a lot of people at our embassy and a lot of Washington officials, you know, very dedicated to that.
Looking from here, the Libya case, the North African
very interesting,
uprising, America seems to try to take a back seat, not, you know, up front. NATO coming, UN, rather than the United States taking a leading role. Are you concerned about the American role in this particular incident?
No, I mean, I thought actually if you may not have had time to hear much of President Obama's speech on that, but I thought it was very clear and very sensible that, you know, we joined a coalition on Libya for several reasons. One, because it was clear there was about to be a horrific massacre of people. Two, because there was a United Nations resolution for it, Arab League encouragement. And three, because we were part of a coalition. And I think that's a very, you know, sensible description of why and where we would go there. And of course, he made very clear too, our role is going to be not boots on the ground.
No.
That we are playing a role in supporting the overall NATO no-fly zone.
But Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said Gaddafi has to go.
It's an interesting distinction because the President and Secretary of State have both said we believe Gaddafi should go. But this exercise we've joined, we believe that. But we are not taking steps, we are not actively involved in getting him to go. We are taking steps to protect Libyan civilians. And we're going to offer humanitarian assistance. That was the meeting they just had the other day as to how to help people in Libya. So I think it's a different thing to say something you believe should happen, but we're saying this is going to be
do it yourself.
This is going to be the Libyan people's decision.
On a personal note, how does it feel to be called a Twitter ambassador in Bangkok?
I think that's only you who calls me that. I think you're the first person who found my Twitter account.
Actually. Yes, even before you came, right?
Oh yeah, you found it. You might have found it even before I was nominated. you were onto mine very early.
So how is it? Is it a lot of fun?
I love it. For me, it's a way that I can connect directly. You know, as an ambassador, you sometimes feel like you're sort of surrounded with layers of bureaucracy and diplomatic protocol, and we're supposed to be good at that. But it's a way that I can get information directly and I can hear from people.
The State Department doesn't have any policy about ambassadors tweeting?
No, they don't.
They allow you to do whatever you want?
It's my personal account. They couldn't make me stop it.
Yeah, but they might suspect that you might be leaking secrets.
I don't think so.
No?
I think I'd lose my job if they thought I was doing something stupid. I mean, presumably I'm supposed to be smart enough.
And it helps your work as an ambassador?
Tremendously, because I hear from people I wouldn't hear from otherwise.
That's true.
And it's great.
I look forward to keeping in touch with you through Twitter, Facebook, and everything else.
That's right. And I hope you'll invite me back again.
I will.
Thank you.